Hello, my people. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Vandor the Source. So you all know we like to dive into stories, things that happen, factual accounts, factual information. This story is disturbing. So in advance, I would like to say viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, Jason, we've talked to investigators who say, in point of fact, while this woman was being attacked, there were passengers on the train. They did apparently witness what was going on and apparently did nothing about it.
All right, my people. So it is apparent, based upon the news reports and all the things that we've read, that a gentleman decided to assault a woman in the middle of a public train where lots of people were at. So many people, in fact, that it really is the bigger story, not the sexual assault, but what happened and what the people decided to do about it. Let's go.
Growing outrage in Pennsylvania after a woman was allegedly raped on a public train, and authorities say none of her fellow passengers did anything to help.
Nobody said nothing. Nobody did anything. That's ridiculous.
It's disgusting.
That's awful. What's wrong with people?
The alleged rape occurred last week on board an Upper Darby bound train. Police say surveillance video shows other riders in the train car during the attack who did nothing.
So apparently, instead of helping this woman, these people decided to take out their phones and record. All right, so let's rewind here. What's happening? A woman gets on a train, right? She's just, doing her own thing. It's 9-something at night. And, train's moderately packed. There's 15 people, 20 people in this particular car. So, it seems that there's an element of safety. There's an element of everything is fine. We're in a public, enclosure. Nothing's going to happen out of the ordinary. Unfortunately, a gentleman came on this train. I shouldn't call him a gentleman. He's a savage. He's a savage from everything that I've heard and seen in the news reports. This gentleman is 35 years old. I'm not going to mention his name because he's a piece of trash. So he comes on the train and immediately notices this woman. Comes up next to her, rubs up next to her. This woman is like, "What's going on, sir? I don't want anything to do with that." "No, what are you doing?" So as soon as that's happening, you would imagine the people on the train might say something, "Hey, buddy, back off." You might imagine that, this woman has some kind of backup support. Some dude seen this. Nope. In fact, people did see it. However, instead of doing the right thing, they took out their camera phones. Now, I'm certain that these people probably meant well. They didn't want to hurt anybody. They didn't want to cause any pain or suffering or extend someone's pain. So I'm sure they uploaded that story to their Facebook page or Snapchat or Insta and hashtag domestic squabble, hashtag rape on a train, hashtag terrible actions. So I'm so glad that they could speak up on their pages and other means, but they couldn't say anything in this moment. Anyway, it would be one thing if this was a situation that happened maybe for, 2 minutes and then, it got broken up. This situation kept happening. I think it was 10, 15 minutes on the train where this man, he disrobed. He took off his clothes. He started taking off her clothes and fully went at it. So unfortunately, for the migrants and the people who come over here from different places, this man was a migrant. So it's not going to look good for the people of the Congolese. This man was from the Congolese. Not only just from the Congolese, but this man had entered the country illegally. He was here illegal. He overstayed his visa and stayed in the United States. Now, mind you, if he was an upstanding citizen or whatnot, I would be surprised. No, this gentleman had already had a history with assault. Apparently, he assaulted somebody else. He did something like that. Now, these people are the same people who the last guy in office was trying to keep out. This guy, apparently everybody's free to stay. Everybody can stay. And this is what happens when we have these so-called sanctuary cities. It's almost like, you can put two and two together and then it's going to equal a bad result. We have way more on this story, my people. It's time to dive in.
And because passengers stood by and did nothing, SEPTA wants to remind people of what to do to make sure that doesn't happen again. And that, of course, includes calling 911, of where these call buttons, these emergency call buttons, are located on both the platforms and on the trains, and also how to report on SEPTA's app.
Were they watching? I don't know. Again, we're still going through the video, but there was a lot of people, in my opinion, that should have intervened. Somebody should have done something. It speaks to where we are in society. I mean, who would allow something like that to take place? So it's trouble.
So anyways, this Congolese man from the Congolese Republic, I assume that's what it is. I don't know. Don't kill me. I know the country. Now, this gentleman, he was in this country. He overstayed his visa. And this is the kind of things that happen. Now, the funny part about this whole situation is the government knew about this man. This man had already been in trouble before. And yet, this man was still somehow in the country. No raids, none of that had taken place because he was in a special city, a sanctuary liberal city. This isn't about politics. This isn't about the left or the right. This is about what is American. And I will tell you, that dystopian scene that got painted for me, that horrible scene that got painted with the people taking pictures and recording this woman suffering without saying anything, that is not the America that I'm from. That is not where I subscribe my beliefs in. That's not the America that I believe in. I just don't. So I hope this was a one-off oversight situation. Unfortunately, as far as the immigration situation, we know that it's not. We know that this kind of thing happens all the time. These people who overstay their visa, these people who shouldn't be in the country, these people who are migrants, who do not have respect enough to follow the rule of law, they are more likely to commit these horrible atrocities. It's a damn shame that I say that, because I truly believe in the United States system of legal immigration. But when people take it into their own hands and they do whatever they see fit, doesn't work out.
Arrested is 35-year-old Fiston Ngoy, who investigators say is seen on a train security camera sitting next to the alleged victim, touching her, and then raping her. Investigators say a female SEPTA employee called in the attack, which was relayed on radio, about the attacker disrobing on a train at 56th Street Station.
Westbound train currently at 56th Street, train car 1102, male disrobing on the train.
SEPTA says Ngoy was arrested at 69th Street Station on the train in the act.
All right, my people, so in conclusion, the basic bottom line is be a good person. You know, crimes and bad things happen all over the planet. And this episode isn't as much for the gentleman who raped the person, because most people know not to do things like that. This episode is more for the people who had to have their nice camera phones out, who were recording this horrible incident and did not acknowledge the humanity of the woman who needed help. This video is for the former bravery of American people. We used to be the people who would not let an atrocity like that happen. We are the people who stood up and stand for something greater than yourself. The American dream is bigger and better, and it requires a certain level of responsibility on each one of you all. Each one of us as Americans, we are better. We are supposed to be better, and we should not and never, ever should disregard a person in need. Certainly not doing something that could benefit us, recording, trying to put it on your social media. It's not always about you. Sometimes it's about your impact on the world, on what you contribute. So, I mean, ultimately, it is all about you. Those final actions and moments. Who would want to be judged by those actions? All those people, I'm sure, now that they've seen that situation on the news, all those people, I'm sure, regret their action of just simply taking out their phone. They might even be ashamed of their recording. I don't want them to be ashamed. I want them to learn and be better, because we as people are only as strong as our weakest link. And I know that is something that we say all the time, but if we actually support and stand for something, we will support and stand with the American people, with the people, with humanity. My people, I appreciate you all for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe and check us out, because we have so many more videos. On a quick side note, a lot of people have noticed my style has changed. A lot of the episodes that I have previously made, I am personally ashamed of. However, just like those people, I'm not deleting them. They're forever with me. That moment is forever with those people. I am keeping those videos up to remind myself of how far we have come. My people, when I first started this channel, I was running fast and loose. I would report on any story. Now I select my story very carefully. I do my research, and I try to learn from every piece that I cover. Anyway, if you are a subscriber of fair, factual, honest-based news, you will stay away from the Fox Newses, the MSNBCs, and the CNNs. Come to your boy. Vandor the Source will set it right. Thank you, my people. Let's dive in.